Hi guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Championship Predictions again, just before Christmas. Do make sure to hit that like button, do subscribe. The Championship returned last weekend and it weren't great for Coventry, but your thoughts? Some good goals and stuff?
Yeah, the Championship is always good to have back. There was a couple results I was a little bit surprised by, like the early kick-offs, and a little bit surprised by the Cov one, but do you know what? We go again this weekend. We do. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into these predictions. First up, we go to St Andrews. Birmingham City take on Reading. Both sides picked up a clean sheet in that opening weekend, and it was Reading who picked up 3 points against Coventry City. I'm not being salty, but it was a bit of an evenish match. Maybe Coventry had one or two good moments, but to be honest, Reading can be that kind of side that can pinch those kind of games to just take their only chance, and fair play. They got 3 points. They're up against Birmingham, who drew 0-0 away at Blackpool. I think this will be very close. I think there'll be a clean sheet for one of them, and I'm going to say Birmingham edge it. They're the home team. 1-0 Blues. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to say clean sheet again. Another 0-0 for Blues. Oh. Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Reading because I think that was a great result against us. Don't think they deserved it, but they got the 3 points. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And yeah, Blues to get 0-0 away from home. It's not the worst result, and I don't think this is a good one to get at home. But I can see it playing out, so 0-0. Okay, on to the next one as Bristol City take on Stoke City. Both sides saw 4 goals in their games at the weekend. Stoke drew 2-2 with Cardiff. Meanwhile, Bristol City with a good 3-1 win at Rotherham. I wonder if that World Cup break could have been the kickstart for Bristol City. They stopped a weird run, and now maybe they can go on a good run. I fancy them here at home to Stoke. Stoke drew, they were okay, they had their moments against Cardiff, but Bristol City were convincing against Rotherham, and that's what I'm going for here. 2-1 to the Robins. Yeah, I'm going to say 3-1 to the Robins. I was quite impressed with them, actually. They did surprise me, so I think they might have a little bit of turn in form. So being at home with the home advantage as well, and I can see there being goals, I'm going to say 3-1. 3-1. Okay, next up to Turf Moor as Burnley take on Middlesbrough. Now this is a big matchup. Burnley with a 3-0 win away at QPR on the Sunday. Middlesbrough snatched it late on against Luton 2-1, which was my prediction for that one. This is tricky. You've got Middlesbrough, who are starting to look like one of the best form teams at the moment, but then they're against the best team in the league, which is Burnley. Do look very good. And as good as Middlesbrough have been, I just don't really see it. It's a great test for them, and if they get anything at Burnley, that really boosts their playoff credentials. And who knows? You know, is second place possible? Who knows? I'm going to give it to Burnley though. I think Burnley will edge this. They're looking good to win most games at the moment. 2-1 Burnley. Yeah, so before I say the scoreline, I don't want to take anything away from Middlesbrough because I do think that was a good win and they are looking quite good. However, Burnley are looking very good. So I'm going to say 2-0 Burnley. 2-0 Burnley? Yeah, how good they're looking at the moment. Pretty solid. Okay, next up down to South Wales as Cardiff City take on Blackpool. Both sides picked up a draw at the weekend. Cardiff, as we said, 2-2 with Stoke and Blackpool 0-0 with Birmingham. So they've both got up and running with this new set of games with a point. Both want to be going for that next 3 points here though, and they're both down the bottom end. Blackpool obviously further down the table. I might edge them. They're really fighting here. 1-0 Blackpool. Oh, do you know, I'm going to be boring and back another draw. Oh, okay. 1-1 for me. 1-1. Yeah. I just think the Tangerines are really going to have to battle because they are in that bottom 3, and I think they've got it about them. They have got it in them. They have got it in them, but I just see a draw playing out, so they're not a bad side. Right, next up to Coventry City. Big game. Obviously, we've come back with a loss. Swansea City came back with a loss. They lost 1-0 to Norwich. The goal came inside 20 seconds. Weird one to predict because Coventry were in good form and I was feeling confident. That Reading game made me feel a little bit flat. Plus, at the caveat, Swansea are a bit of a bogey team for Coventry. Did the double over us last season. I think Coventry City are a very good team when we get a lot of games going. And it feels like we're starting to go up the gears again. You know, that break has knocked us down a few gears. We're in second, we want to get up to third and fourth. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw here. Swansea play some really nice football. Coventry will probably have 10% possession. I'm going to say 1-1. Yeah, Swansea do play possession-based football. What I will say is that Coventry at the back, I think we do struggle without having the beast there, McFadzean. So hopefully he won't be out for much longer. For me, against Reading, I just don't think we were clinical enough. It's not that we weren't creating the chances. Again, our downfall is not being clinical. So if we can get Big Vic firing, I think we'll be absolutely fine. I don't think this is going to be an easy game at all. As you say, Swansea did the double over us last season. So I probably would take a draw. However, I'm going to back the boys to win 1-0.
1-0 Coventry. Whoa, okay, I wish I had your confidence. Who knows though, Coventry do love a clean sheet. On to the next one. Huddersfield take on Watford. Both sides not with a great return. Huddersfield lost at Sheffield United. It was always going to be a tall order, and this is another tricky game. As for Watford, 0-0 against Hull at home. Not great.
No.
But you feel with Watford's quality, the players they've got, they'll be able to get some points, and I fancy them to win this. I'm going to say 1-0 to Watford.
Yeah, I think Watford are going to have to turn it around after that whole game. So for me, they're going to win 2-0.
2-0. Right, on to Hull City as they take on Sunderland. As we say, that 0-0 for Hull is not a bad result.
No, for Hull it's good. For Watford it wasn't.
It's not a bad result going away to
Yeah.
Watford. And now they're at home against Sunderland, who we do know are in the playoff chase, of course. Hull with the home advantage. Maybe they get another draw here. I'm going to say 1-1.
Yeah, do you know what? I think going into this, Sunderland might actually be the favourites because obviously where they're sitting at the table and also kind of the form they're in. But I'm going to say a bit of a shocker here. Hull 1-0.
You go 1-0 to Hull.
Yeah,
that would be a great result for them. Like I say, they're just a few points above the bottom three. They'd love to get a move on. Okay, on to the next one as we go to Deepdale. Preston sitting in that top six. What a
great
result.
win that was. Did you call them to win?
I backed them to win 1-0. They won 4-1.
Yeah, no, great.
Wasn't close.
But I thought they'd lose.
Well, yeah, great result at Blackburn. They took on QPR and they lost 3-0 at home to Burnley. Okay, Burnley are great, but QPR, if you put that with the form they had before the World Cup, they are trending down. It's all pointing in one direction. Preston, 2-0.
Yeah, I do think Preston are a little bit better away from home. I was surprised by how much they won at Blackburn. Because at the beginning of the season, they just had no goals in them. It was just 0-0. So to get 4 in one game is very good. So I think being at home, I know I just said that they're not as good at home, but I do think they're going to be quite confident after that game. And I think they're going to win. So 2-0 for me.
2-0. Okay, on to the next one. We go to the Hawthorns as West Bromwich Albion take on Rotherham. We're both a little bit surprised by Rotherham's game against Bristol City. You know,
Both backed them to win.
Yeah, usually when they're at home, we think they're going to do all right, but it's possible they could get sucked into the bottom three. I think this is going to be one of the hardest battles of the season. And West Brom are going to be a team that are going to move away from it. I can't see West Brom being in that relegation battle. They're going to start pushing towards the playoffs. West Brom win this. I'll say 1-0.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-0 West Brom. I was not impressed with Rotherham at the weekend, so they should be looking at this to kind of turn it around, maybe get a point, but I don't see that playing out. I think West Brom are going to pick up all three. It's 2-0.
2-0. Okay, on to Carrow Road as Norwich City take on Blackburn. Obviously both, you know, sitting pretty in the table, but I said before Norwich played Swansea, because I backed them to win that, and I said I think they're going to get a move on after this World Cup break, and I think they're going to keep chucking wins on and get into that position we thought they would be from the start of the season. Blackburn are trending down, really bad result against Preston. After that, the worst result, the worst fixture you'd want is going away to Norwich to try and fix things. It wouldn't surprise me if Blackburn won. But I'm going to go for Norwich. 2-0.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to back another Norwich win here. I do think Blackburn are going to turn it around at some point. I don't think they're going to keep going down and down and down the table at the rate they are. Saying that, I think Norwich are going to climb that table. So I do think it's going to be a tight game, but for me, Norwich win. So 1-0. Norwich
1-0. Right, 2 games left. On to Kenilworth Road as Luton Town take on Millwall. This is a tricky one. Millwall, to be honest, Millwall drew with Wigan, which was okay, but we thought they'd win that, especially at home. They're now away to Luton, who've got the new gaffer, and a frustrating defeat at Middlesbrough. They lost in stoppage time. This is tricky. They both want to sort of get back on track and really start scurrying towards the playoffs because they're both slipping away without wins, obviously. Do you know what? I think this is one of them where if Millwall were at home, I might back them, but Luton are at home, so I might back them. Luton 1-0.
I'm going to be boring and say a 1-1 draw for me. I think they're just going to cancel each other out, so...
Yeah. Big game, that first home game for Edwards there. The last game up is Wigan Athletic at home to Sheffield United. Wigan, to be fair, very decent point at the Den, but up against Sheffield United, who are obviously pursuing automatic promotion. They're trying to keep the pace with Burnley, and I do fancy Sheffield United here, to be honest. I know Coventry have got them on Boxing Day, and I feel like Sheffield United are going to be in a really good position by then. I'm going to back them to win this. Wigan 0, Sheffield United 2.
Yeah, so for me, I think this is actually going to be a bit of a tighter game. I'm going to give Wigan a bit of credit, and I think they are going to make this quite a difficult game for Sheffield United. But they're looking very, very strong, so I can't see anything other than 3 points for them. So I'll say 1-0 to the Blades.
1-0 to the Blades, yeah, grinding it out. Well, there you go. That wraps up our predictions, guys. Do get your predictions down below as the Championship continues to roll fixtures at us. Do make sure to hit that like button and subscribe down below. Smash that red button. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.